Appearing in 3 histories and 1 comedy, he is the only lead character to cross genres in a Shakespeare's play. Who is it? Let's find out. G'day, Paul from Small Crown Productions here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are looking at one of the lead characters that appears across genres in Shakespeare's plays. He's not the only character to cross genres. In fact, there is a whole team that he takes with him across these plays, but he's the only person in a lead role in one of these plays. Shakespeare's comedies are generally broken down into 3 categories or genres: the histories, the tragedies, and the comedies. The comedies and tragedies are fictional works that Shakespeare either adapted from other writings or created from his pure imagination. The history plays are a somewhat accurate account of the history of the English monarchs. And I say somewhat accurate because Shakespeare was writing for the monarchs, and so he wanted to make sure that what he wrote appealed to them. History is written by the winners, and he made sure to write a history play that satisfied the needs of his current crown. He had to also deal with the master of the revels, who was the censor for anything written and performed in his day. And if he wasn't happy, then Shakespeare could not put his work on the stage. Now, one of the historical figures that we see through these plays is the young Prince Hal. This is the young Henry V before he is king. His father, Henry IV, is still on the throne, and we're actually in the plays, Henry IV Part 1 and 2. And it's in these plays that we're introduced to the later lead character of Falstaff. Now, Falstaff is one of the most beloved comedic characters in all of Shakespeare's plays. Described as fat, vain, and boastful, Falstaff spends most of his time drinking at the Boar's Head Inn with other petty criminals and lives his life off of scammed, stolen, or borrowed money. Falstaff is the perfect embodiment of charisma over character. With an outgoing, boisterous personality as large as his belly is fat, Falstaff provides a great comedic counterbalance to the familial struggles that Hal is going through with his father, and also provides some insight into the lower class citizens' lives. Falstaff's original character name was actually John Oldcastle, which was referenced to a real person named John Oldcastle, who was a friend of Henry V's in the 100 Years' War, but he was eventually convicted for heresy, escaped the Tower of London, and sent a revolt against the king. And it was a descendant of Oldcastle's that complained about the use of the name that forced Shakespeare to change it. So he changed it to Falstaff based on another real-life person from the 100 Years' War, John Falstaff. Although it's not clearly stated when this play was set, it's evident that it was set in between Henry IV Part 2 and Henry V. Henry IV still on the throne, and we find Falstaff arriving in Windsor short on cash. He decides to increase his financial position by courting 2 wealthy married women in town, Mistress Page and Mistress Ford. He writes 2 letters, one to each lady, that are identical, and gives them to his servants, Pistol and Nym, to deliver to the women. When they refuse, he sacks them both. And so to get him back, they actually go and tell the husbands of the wives what Falstaff is up to. Then the husbands try and outwit Falstaff and catch their wives in the act. And of course, this leads to a lot of ridiculous comedy and Falstaff getting his just desserts at the end of the play. Now, the reason that Falstaff's character crosses genres is because he was said to be so loved by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth I that she requested Shakespeare write a play that shows Falstaff falling in love. There you have it, a little bit about Falstaff and the other characters that cross genres in Shakespeare's plays. If you got anything out of this, it would be great if you could give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.